What's going on, guys? Welcome to another risk management video. In this video, we're going to be looking at risk to reward and identifying good and bad trades. This is going to be a shorter video, very simple video. By this point, I assume that many of you guys have already gotten this concept down, but it doesn't hurt to go back through it. So basically what we're going to do is we're going to take just some example setups that we might have, and we're going to look at the risk to reward and identify if we should even take that trade to begin with. So here, small example, we have a counter trend line breach, or a trend line breach, if you will. Let's say we want to sell this breakout, or we're trying to figure out if we should sell the breakout candle. Well, the first question that you have to ask yourself is, where does your stop loss have to go? Your stop loss has to go above here, right, above these highs, somewhere up here, right? And ideally, you'd probably be getting out somewhere in between the high and where your stop loss is at, somewhere in that zone if price were to breach, right? In most cases, obviously in this case, price is going to come up and just breach your stop loss right there. But that's the risk on this trade, okay, 162 pips. That means that for this trade to make sense, you need to at least have 162 pips in the other direction. So if there's anything in the way of that, you should probably reconsider taking the trade. Now, the first thing that I noticed looking at this is that if you look over here within this trend line, you can see there's a clear support right here. Clear support, okay? And now let's see if this is something that we need to be worried about. Look at this, guys. There's a whole zone. Looks kind of like that. Yeah. Look at this SNR in here, guys. Pretty significant SNR. It's every interaction that price has had with it, it's been very well respected, right? So if price gets to this SNR, we would expect that it would at least give some kind of bullish momentum, some kind of bounce. And guys, look, that's going to be where price reverses right there, okay? So if you are looking to take this trade and you identify that this has to be your first take profit zone, you should consider not taking the trade. Now, what can we do in this case, right? So we can't sell this candle, but maybe we can make a succession for ourselves, and we can say, okay, but if price will give me a retracement up into these highs and give me an opportunity that has better risk to reward, I will take this trade, right? So maybe when price does its first retracement, let me zoom in here so you guys see what I'm talking about. See how this candle gave us a retest of our trend line? Maybe we identify an entry here and we check the risk to reward. Does the risk to reward make sense? No, it doesn't. So we're not going to take that. And then we wait and price comes up into our zone. That's another potential sell opportunity. Does the risk to reward make sense here? What's the answer? The answer is yes. Guys, this is the trade that you take. This is the trade that you should have taken in this situation. And guys, notice how all those other entries, they would have worked, yes, but you would have had a lot higher risk. You would have had a lot lower reward. Guys, if you sold the breakout candle right here, you walked away with 70 pips. If you waited for the correct opportunity, you walked away with over twice that, 160, right? So very simple example. Let's take a look at another one. Trend line breaches right here, guys. You are looking for a sell trade. Stop loss has to go up here. Your first take profit, this is not a significant support. You guys can see it was not respected that well in here. First big one's going to be right here. Does the risk to reward make sense? Yes, you take the trade. Okay, pretty simple. Let's take a look over here. So we have this SNR identified down here. We've got another one right up here to the upside. Okay, right up here to the upside. Let me ask you, and it's actually slightly lower. I'm looking at this right here. Let me ask you, should you take this buy trade when price originally breaches this SNR? And I'm talking about right here, this candle. Should you take that trade? Well, let's see what the risk reward is. The risk is somewhere down here beneath this zone. The reward is right here. So it's a 1.3 to 1. You can take this trade. By the rules, you can, because it's at least 1 to 1. But obviously, guys, in terms of risk to reward, you want better risk to reward. So the best entry is when price, let me move this over here, when price comes back down to our support right here. And then our stop is 40 pips instead of 60, and our take profit is 100 pips instead of 80, right? So it just makes sense. And doing this kind of analysis, guys, for every trade opportunity that you look at is really important, because you have to really identify, what are you looking to gain from this trade, and is it worth it, right? Because like here's a great example. Look at this, guys. You see how we have this giant wick right here? Well, you know that when you enter a sell trade here, that you have to put your stop above this wick. You don't have a choice. And I mean, you do have a choice, but at that point, you're just gambling if you put your stop loss inside here. You have to put it above this wick. So you need to take that in consideration when you're looking for a sell trade from this area. Look how much risk you're going to have. Is it really worth it when you know that your first target has to be right here? Okay, so this is just to give you guys a refresher example on identifying good and bad trades, using risk to reward. This is pretty much like the first thing you should ask yourself before you enter any trade. And honestly, guys, this is really going to improve not only your risk to reward, but your win to loss ratio. You guys are going to find that a lot of times where you're looking to enter a trade where risk to reward isn't fantastic, that it's going to end up being a losing trade anyway. This is something you guys need to absolutely keep in mind. All right, I will see y'all next time.